Live from Toast Studios in New York City, it's the Hospitality Hangout Podcast with the restaurant guy and the finance guy. Toast. Toast empowers the restaurant community to delight guests, do what they love, and thrive. That's Toast. Jimmy? ToastTab.com. We love Toast.
I'm glad you gave the jingle because without your jingle, I felt that was a little scripted.
It was too scripted.
But
right?
with the jingle,
yeah,
it's personal. Now it's authentic.
You know, it's pos.toasttab.com.
That I can't figure out.
Yeah.
All right. I'll leave that.
ToastTab.com. Okay.
All right. Listen, I want to welcome everyone more formally to the Hospitality Hangout, a hospitality-focused podcast where the founders of Branded Hospitality Group share their insights and bring technology and innovation leaders and restaurant and juggernauts. So I'm sorry, I'm not supposed to do any of that. Just quickly say and bring technology and innovation leaders.
Yeah, don't steal my thunder.
I don't want to steal your thunder, Shatsy. That are making things happen in the industry we love. My name is Jimmy Frischling, otherwise known as the finance guy, and I'd like to introduce my partner, Mr. Michael Schatzberg, also known as the restaurant guy.
And thank you for that kind introduction, Jimmy. And you were about to steal my thunder.
I was about to steal your thunder, but I caught myself.
Yes, because we are.
You are, yes. You're going to tell us who we are.
We are the personalities behind Branded Hospitality and, of course, the Hangout. And we are at the intersection of hospitality, technology, investing, restaurants, hotels, seafood, sushi, and anything else that you can think about that falls into food service. We are at the intersection. And Jimbo, I got to tell you, I read a little ad about Toast, and I'm not kidding around. I love this Toast point of sale.
Yeah,
I love it. But you know what I realized? I was eating in the restaurant the other day, actually with you, and I saw all the staff walking around with the handhelds. And I gotta tell you, and you talk to the staff, they love these handhelds, and they've evolved. They were a little bigger when we first started. They're a little smaller now. They're really nice. You can pay on those things. You can order on those things. And what I think is so great that I think a lot of people don't recognize that those handhelds, when you're paying, that's compliant. That's a compliant transaction.
PCI compliant.
Yeah, I don't want to get technical here, but putting your credit card in the check presenter and going away.
When that fake leather, that faux leather check disappear.
You let the operator is setting them up for chargeback.
Not compliant.
Not compliant.
Handheld at the table?
Handheld, tap and go, baby. That's for, so I got to tell you something. If you're not using Toast, you should have your head examined as an operator. Let me tell you something right now, okay? I said it, Jimmy. I said it. And the last thing about Toast, and then we'll jump into the show, is honestly, Jimmy, you know what I say? Toast is the Apple of point of sale, right? I said it, Jimmy.
You said it.
Okay? I said it. Let's go, because we got a great show, Jimmy.
Yes, we do.
Really excited.
This is going to be a super good time. We are excited on this episode. Joining us today is our friend, Mr. Michael Ungaro, the principal and owner of San Pedro Fish Market, but wait for it, and the creator and star of the hit series Kings of Fish.
Oh, so this is basically the first time that we actually we have like a TV star.
We have a restaurant owner operator, and by the way, one of the best pivots.
Not me, by
one of the best pivots.
It's Michael, our guest.
And we're going to talk about the pivot. But then, if that wasn't enough, he is also the creator and the star of Kings of Fish
on Amazon, right?
On Amazon. This is
so not just a great restaurant operator.
Yes.
Not just a fishmonger.
Correct.
Also a television star.
Yes, created it.
I don't think we've ever had a television star.
I don't think we've ever had this. So I thought you were going to say we're at the intersection of da-da-da-da-da-da and television stars, but you left that one out. But listen.
You want to add it now? We go back?
No, we're not going to we do this like Sinatra. One take. We don't go back.
Baby.
One take. Okay. Listen, everyone knows we release our podcast on Tuesdays.
Wait, Robert Irvine has a TV show. So we had Bobby. We had Bobby Yar. Robert Irvine was on.
We did a Bobby Yar.
Robert Irvine was on, so he does have a show.
All right, so this is the second time we've had a television star. Okay.
But Michael's better looking.
I
hope Robert's not listening.
Michael's big.
He's big.
Sorry. Robert Irvine is a very big man.
Yeah, that guy's got big guns, right? Yeah.
Listen, we release our shows on Tuesdays. Here's Trivia Tuesday. You all know how the game is played. I have 3 factoids about our friend Michael. 2 are true, 1 is not true. And a little later in the episode, we're going to have Shatsy to guess which was the fib among the factoids.
I've been having trouble with this lately.
You've been having trouble lately because I got to tell you, guests are getting tricky. And the words matter, Shatsy. The words matter. All right, here we go. Fact 1. Mike worked in a combo frozen yogurt and video rental store. I love that.
I do too. They should bring that back.
They should bring that. Froyo and video. I
miss going to the store.
Okay,
by
fact
the way.
2. Michael had a bright red Jeep with a hand-painted Marvel Venom painted on the back. My daughter would love that. Huge Venom fan, huge Marvel Comics fan. Okay.
Yeah, well, that's like that. Well, but that's going to be a lie. Why not? Why can't he?
In your high school, how many people had hand-painted Marvel Venom or any character painted on their Jeeps or any of the car?
Yeah,
Fact
but I look
3.
at Michael. He looks
Okay.
like a guy that has the black. He's got the Venom on.
And if those 2 factoids weren't cool enough, fact 3. Michael has a set of custom Japanese knives made by the famous Hattori Hanzo. I think I said that wrong.
Hattori Hanzo.
Hattori Hanzo.
That's Hattori Hanzo.
Of Kill Bill fame.
Oh, Hattori Hanzo.
I think you said it better than I think I had a little Spanish. I think you did it right. All right, there they go. There are the 3 factoids. Stick around later in the episode. Shachi will guess which 2 were true. Mike, by the way, Michael, who's here with us, stone cold poker face, gave no
Yeah, but I
indication.
got to tell you, he looks like the kind of guy that definitely had the Hattori Hanzo. You know, he looks like that because he definitely had the Marvel Venom.
Yes.
And he had the
All
knife.
right, you might have already figured it out.
He never worked at a
Never worked at Froyo Video.
His dad's like, you got to work at a frozen. He's like, yeah, okay, sure, Pop. Yeah, that absolutely never worked at a frozen. Nah, absolutely
All right,
not.
so
But
Chazzy,
okay.
before we bring Michael in, because he's chomping at the bit here, he's got a big
got a
personality.
cough.
We
He's
got a
having
big
a good time. He's
personality.
having a good time.
How does one become Shatsy
A TV star.
and an owner of one of the most successful restaurants out west? How do you do that?
You know how big that restaurant is?
Big.
They got like 4,000 seats.
That I didn't know.
Yeah, for 4,000 seats.
I think you should
They
leave
do-
the number.
They do three turns a day.
Maybe leave
three
the
turns a
number-
night.
Maybe leave the numbers.
No,
down.
I'm
Go
telling you,
4,000.
Jimmy, you'll
Okay.
see it's like
All right.
4,000.
All right.
Could be off by a couple thousand, but it's a lot of seats.
A lot of seats.
Well, listen, I know that at age 7, he started working for his pop, shoveling ice and stuffing cold fish. You know what I mean?
And he loved it.
Yeah, and you think he worked at a yogurt store? I don't think so. I don't think so. But we're going to see. Because then, he decided to, I don't know. I don't know what this even means. Like a kid just play until he was 11. So at 7, he started taking ice and sticking it in the fish.
It took 4 years.
It took 4 years.
It took a couple years off.
He's like, fuck,
Dad, let me just be a kid.
you're not paying me. And I'm
He's like the guy at a Frozen. He's sawing ice. He
he
he's
doesn't like
Kristoff. He's young Kristoff.
But at age 11, he started working for the family business, and he already did the ice in the fish. He's probably taking crushed ice and packing it, whatever. And it was the fish market. It was called Vista Seafood. Then it became Norm's Landing until 1982. Norm's Landing was torn down and became the San Pedro Fish Market, the most famous fish market in all the land. His dad encouraged him to work somewhere else. Basically, that was his dad saying, you know what, this ain't working out. and he went and he said, you should go into banking and insurance. I mean, and he's like, really? And he's like, Dad, I don't want to be a banker. I don't want to be a banker. I love fish. I love fish. I like big fish, little fish. I like ice. So, but his dad's like, no, because you know what? You got to be an insurance guy, a finance guy. But he hated it.
Why are you talking down to the finance?
No,
guy?
I'm
What's wrong with
not. I'm not. Finance and insurance
It's a
is
nice
terrific.
living. It's a nice
It's a
profession.
good thing.
It's honorable.
But he did it.
Right.
He did it because his dad asked him to do it, but he hated it. He hated it. And you know what he did, Jimmy? He went back to the family business, okay? He became the CEO within a matter of days. Literally days. Days. His dad recognized, what was I thinking? Putting you in insurance and finance. You're a fish guy. You're a fish guy. And then he's the fish guy. He's doing all this fish stuff. And then he has the aha moment. He's like, you know what? I like this. I like insurance. I like banking. But you know what I like more? I like being a TV star. And he comes up with this great show on Amazon, King of Fish. It's the number 1 rated show on Amazon right now. Ladies and gentlemen, here he is. The entertainer, Emmy Award winner, Oscar-nominated Michael Ungaro of the San Pedro Fish Market and the Kings of Fish. We very rarely do we get guests of this stature.
There you go.
Michael, welcome to the show. Sorry for taking so long.
No, that was an incredible introduction. I hope I get a copy of it. I'm going to make a shirt.
Did we get anything right? Was anything right?
Did
Did Shatsy get anything right on your background?
It was right enough for me. I mean, I liked everything. You corrected all my flaws.
Yeah, you gotta make him look good. Feel good. He's feeling good. Now he's happy.
Yeah, I mean, you can see, shined it up, but there's actually a glow from the...
I'm telling you, all I know is it looks like you got hair growing right now. That's how happy he is. His hair growing right now. It's great to have you, man. I can't wait to dig into this because Yeah, no, I've been following you, following you, and then we got introduced, and I was trying to think how. I think it was from our mutual friend,
Stephen Rana was one.
Stephen Rana, right? Yeah, and he's like, got to meet this guy, and I'm so glad that we did, and digging in, it was like it's just such an honor to have you on the show. So let's dig into it, Jimmy, because we only got like 45 minutes, and we got to get a lot.
Hey, Mike's got a lot. Michael's got a lot to do.
Yeah.
Listen, we certainly did in our intro, but your show, Kings of Fish, streaming now on Amazon Prime. Season 2 is already in the works. You've taken this fascinating approach of viewing your business more as a media brand than as a restaurant. And what's incredible is how you brought the teams from Below Deck, from Iron Chef, and you started with these 5-minute shorts before realizing you had something bigger. So how did this transform? How does transition from restaurant owner to streaming star come about? And how has it changed your approach to the business?
Yeah, that's great. So one correction.
Great question, Jay.
My dad was, please don't work here like I did and do something else. So it was like really pushing me, be the one that goes to college, be the one that does something else with your life. And I did, and it sucked. Like I really hated the banking, I really hated the insurance. It's just, I couldn't see a future in it. And technology was coming out, right? So here I am at State Farm Insurance. I've got this claim negotiator job. It's probably the worst job in the world.
Is there.
Right. And a lot of good friends watching people drop dead from stress, and then seeing tablets come out. Like this is the late '90s.
But did you sell them insurance before they dropped dead? That's the key.
That's the key. You got to get them to sign.
Sign before you drop dead. You look terrible. You better sign.
So, as technology's coming out, this whole level that I would have gotten promoted up to disappeared. So I'm like, I guess I'm going to need to go back to work for the family. And my dad's like, what are you talking about? We paid, you went to college, you got this banking, you got this. Sure, why are you coming back? And I go, there's no future. I want to get married, buy a house. I can't do it.
My son sells insurance. He was so proud.
Yeah, it's like there was no future. So I continued to study even as I went back to work for the family. And one of the things I started to study was business philosophy, and we did a lot of work with storytelling. And I didn't really understand the value of storytelling and realized we don't ever tell our story. We had this 60-plus years stories that I heard from my family all the time. We started with gambling, and then we did this, and this happened, and we moved into that, and we threw this at the wall, and it stuck, and then we got evicted, and we're in a parking lot, we're doing again now. All these things were happening. Nobody knew what they were, except the people that have been with us for a really, really, really long time. So I started thinking, why don't we tell these stories? And we started testing it out by producing, and I think we brought in some guys that did TV, different crew than we're using now, and had them do a history video of us. And the reason we were doing it was they were going to redevelop the waterfront. We were going to get evicted. No one knew our story. And I go, well, let's make it. So we created this like 3-4 minute commercial, and we were able to show it to the city. They put us like on their agenda. So we actually had time to show the city. People were like, we had no idea that you did all this for the schools and the community and this many jobs, and how many people worked for you, went into government or went into law enforcement or went into teaching or nursing or whatever. It was like, yeah, we're really making a big difference. And we're bringing in 2 million people a year. At the time, it was like 1.2 million. It's like nobody brings in that many people that isn't subsidized on the entire West Coast except for SeaWorld. So I realized there's a lot of value in telling the story. You don't have to be arrogant about it, but if you're speaking it in a way that it benefits the listener so they can connect why they care. And eventually that evolved into Kings of Fish. That's how it happened.
I love it, man. That's a great story, by the way. So you are the SeaWorld of restaurants.
Yeah, you could say that. You aren't so
SeaWorld of restaurants. It's funny. We pitched an idea a few years back, fishy business. And it wasn't the same idea, but it was about the Fulton Fish Market and how all the restaurants in the city get their seafood and how they all compete to get the seafood, the best seafood. And then it was, we pitched it. But you seem to be able to make it happen. So I know it's a little different story, but it was fishy business. It was really cool. But that's really awesome. I got to tell you, fascinated by the family history. Your grandfather literally, this guy was like a fishmonger, right?
Yes and no. My grandfather was a bookie. And he had.
But that's like a fishmonger.
He was. He moved in. My mom's family moved in from the Midwest next door. They hadn't been there very long. Didn't know what was going on. Right. My mom and dad met because their windows faced each other. My grandfather goes over to my dad's dad. Goes to my mom's house, knocks on the door, hands my grandmother on my mom's mom. Hide this somewhere, go and then go hide yourself.
Just wads of cash.
Like, what's going on? She didn't open it. I don't know what was in it. but he went.
Oh, okay.
He went to
It's been years. It's been years. I think we're past that.
Isn't that a scene of The Godfather?
It seems
Store
so,
these.
right?
Don't look inside.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
And what I found out was that he did actually go to jail at some point when my dad was really young, and realized it was better to have relationships to avoid that in the future. And I think that changed his strategy, and it eventually led to us like having the business we had. But he opened the original location, Vista Seafood, 200 square foot, to my dad and his best friend. Listen, I'll pay for you to go to school, or you can work. Which one do you want? Like we hate work. I mean, I'm sorry, we hate school. So all the friends after high school went to this fish market down the street, and they worked in this little fish market. And eventually, one of those people, who's my uncle, was very driven. Tommy, he's in the series if you watch it. And on career day, I was told, this is actually I think this was maybe right around the time my dad passed away. Because my dad passed away like 25 years ago. I was talking to one of those guys that worked there. He goes, when we had career day at high school, they asked Tommy what he wanted to do. And he said, I want to have the biggest fish market in town. So he turned that 200 square foot stainless steel ice chests into what became San Pedro Fish Market years later. Just with drive and ambition.
People love fish. They love fish.
Yeah.
Listen.
Not everyone, but our customers do.
Yeah, no, because somebody, I think it was the Fishermen's Association really sold everybody that fish is healthy for you.
Oh, that's a win.
And that was really,
that's not true.
Because remember when eating eggs were like everybody told you that it was terrible. Don't eat eggs; it's cholesterol.
Yeah, well,
that was the Fishermen's Association started that. Mm-hmm. They're like, don't eat eggs. The cholesterol. You got to eat salmon and tuna. And then remember when the swordfish had too much mercury and that'll kill you.
That was by the
egg guy to get back at the fish guy.
Hitting back at the fish.
And they're like, oh yeah, well let me tell you something. And they started picking on the meat guy and told you that you can't eat red meat. Yeah. Red meat will kill you. It all just keeps on going around. Now you got to eat as much red meat as you can.
Surf and turf conspiracies. That could be a podcast. Surf and turf.
Yeah, I mean, it's right.
That could be a show.
That could be a show.
I still think the winner is red wine. It's good for you, Pop. It's good for you. Red wine, good for you. That is every winemaker's fantasy.
You got to admit, they've been drinking red wine since the beginning of time, right? I mean, Moses was drinking wine at the local bar years ago.
The gallons of Dalmatian wine that I used to see all the
100%. You got funny. That right.
Hey, I have a question. Fulton Fish Market. That's where the tin building is now?
That's right. The fish market now is Hunts Point.
Right.
But Fulton, that was the old. Yeah, that was it, man. And very similar to your story that you're telling. I
love how they have the videos and everything, like where the elevators are downstairs. I was just there.
Oh yeah, that was back in the day when we had our first seafood restaurant. That's where we would take our vans and go down there, and 3-4 o'clock in the morning, getting your fish. That's where the action was happening, man. It was crazy.
We still have that here, right down the street from where our location is on the waterfront.
Yeah, now it's up in Hunts Point. Same thing, Hunts Point. Same activity. You go there 2-3 in the morning. I've been there, and that's where all the action's happening. That was where fishy business was going. Anyway, let's enough about our show. Let's talk about you.
All right.
So I want to talk about, I teased it at the top of the show, one of the most incredible pivots, in the restaurant industry. You found out you're going to be evicted from your original location, and you had to figure out what to do with, again, you said you had up to 2 million visitors. And most operators, they would have panicked, but you transformed an empty parking lot into a 900-seat operation.
Told you it was like 4,000.
You were close. You were off by 75 plus, over 75%.
Rounding up.
You rounded up 900, 4,000, but I knew you were close. 900-seat operation with mobile kitchens, running on a 90-day festival permit license for 2 years. And you're still going.
Yeah.
I mean, first of all, I love the hack. All right, we'll get a 90-day license, just keep renewing it. Now you're on track to do 16 million in that parking lot. How are you managing the transition, and what did it teach you about restaurant resilience?
And they don't take credit cards. No credit cards.
No, it's all Toast. It's all credit cards.
That's why his aunt is still with the Michael. How many of these every day? You bring me one of these? All right. I hope no one's listening. I hope no one's listening. I'm kidding.
I got to give a lot of credit to the team, right? So it's so fair. I'm one of the owners. I got 2 brothers, sister, and my uncle, and we've had a lot of people that have been with us a long time. And this redevelopment on the waterfront, which is called the West Harbor LA, and we're part of it. We're going to be in that project. We had been dancing around between the Port of Los Angeles and the developers, like, how do we stay open during this development? And we had an idea, and then it didn't work. We had another idea. So we were assuming at some point we might have to find a temporary spot. So we had been looking into it and reaching out to places that do like FEMA trailers and specialty kitchens that could just be temporary, just in case.
Right.
But we didn't know the space for sure. We didn't know how it was going to work out. So it comes down to it, and they're like, listen, we know this has been going on for 10, 11, 12 years, but now it's, the timeline's here. You got to get out of the buildings. So expect to be out by March 3rd. So that's 2 years ago, right? Just coming up Monday, it'll be 2 years.
Sure.
So we're like, what do we do? And so there was an empty parking lot because all the other buildings are gone. They'd all been torn down. It was just us at this point. And so we go, there's this empty parking lot that it doesn't look like you're doing anything with it. It's about 25,000 square feet by our estimate. If we can roll in some temporary like FEMA type trailer kitchens, some bathrooms, there's no water, there's no electricity, there's no plumbing, there's nothing there. It's a parking lot. So we're trying to figure
out a
out
whole bunch of porta-johns.
Yeah, so we needed those. Fencing. We had to figure out how to build a bar out of containers. We had to figure out how we're going to do cold storage and dry storage. And my family is, when you give them a task like that, they figure shit out. I was like, I'm going to stay out of the way, but I know you guys can do it. And in 60 days, we reopened. We tested it in a local brewery while we were kind of putting it all together, but literally by Cinco de Mayo, so March 3rd to May 5th, we were open, and we had a run rate of about $16 million. So we went from 3,000 seats in the main locations we left down to 900.
Oh, so getting close.
He was close. He was close.
Oh, I knew there was something about 4,000. I was close.
We were close. We'll probably have 4,000.
Bringing that in.
That's the goal.
See? I knew there was something big there. I got to tell you, it's really an amazing story. It really is super cool. And, but I think there's some things that make you guys really, really unique. I mean, you let your customers pick their own fish.
Yeah, so that was a challenge,
which is kind of wacky.
When you in the original locations, the way they evolved, even with 3,000 seats, what had happened was we had become more of a tourist attraction from all the marketing that I was putting together. So when I came back to that's what I did. I'm like, we're not doing any marketing. Let's do marketing. Let's storytell. And so what started happening is we started to be able to track where our customers were coming from. And we had a 100-mile radius before it dropped off. In every zip code, we had this concentration of people that was crazy. So you had, 50,000 people coming down in a week. Our 3,000 seats are filled up by noon, and the line to get in after you already drove an hour to two to park a mile away, to walk in your strollers and your walker and your wheelchair, right. You had to wait in line an hour and a 200-yard long line to get in the building. So people were coming in, fish, and then they're like, "Which fish do I want? They couldn't figure it out." Because we didn't really have a plan. We never designed it to be this way. So customers are just coming in, follow the person in front of me, and get in the first line they saw.
Yes, and they're picking their own fish, how they want to cook it.
Yes.
People are waiting 3 hours.
If you got in the right line, you might have said, "I thought this is where I get my fish, but I just followed the crowd." No,
you just started.
Pick off the menu, get a tray, and go sit down. So the advanced customer knew, okay, when we get in, you're going to go get a table. You're going to go wait for beer. You go to the margarita line. You go to live crabs. You go to fish. You go to the burger line. And we'll converge back in the table, and we did all picnic style tables. So you get average
you got to know what you're doing.
10. Yeah, and so that's what happened. Now we got to go to a parking lot. How are we going to do fish market in a parking lot? Where the scale's going to go? Where's everything going to drain? We couldn't. There was no way to do it, and it was only 60 days. So this is where my nephew said, I always wanted to run IT, Henry Jr., So he goes, there's a company, and he had been going to the food shows and looking at technology for a while.
Here's where the tech comes in. Here's where the tech comes in.
Bring in Toast. It'll work with me and you. Integrate in with Restaurant 365, and then blah, blah, blah. So, okay, I don't know what you're talking about or what any of that means. But what happened was the customer just needs to sit down, scan the QR code, and instead of getting in line at all these places, we'll run the food to them until we figure out a different way to do it. So now instead of being there for 4 hours because of all the line waiting and not being able to get as many beers because the beer line was an hour long.
Sure.
It doesn't matter. Just click, scan,
Sounds like a jet game where at the stadium.
I love this. By the way, Toast, R365, let's get them involved with Innovative Attack. Pour my beer.
Yeah, you got to pour my beer. Self-pour.
They'll be heroes. Actually, yeah. We
you got to get some self-pour beverage there. A little pour my beer.
Let you guys keep serving themselves.
We were selling more Modelo at a height than Angel Stadium.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, and about 200,
I love it.
200 tons of shrimp was probably the annual sales too.
Well, when Jimmy gets a shrimp cocktail,
I think Modelo.
Yeah, he usually gets they're like, it comes with 6. He's like, I had 200 tons. Yeah, Jimmy don't like those 4, those 6. The shrimp cocktails went from like 6 to like 4, now like down to 3.
Oh,
Right?
yeah.
Like a shrimp cocktail, like whether they be like 1. I'm waiting for the shrimp cocktail to come, and there's no shrimp.
Yeah.
It's just the red. It's just the cocktail sauce and a lemon.
Get the crackers.
And the crackers.
Maybe
Oh, you wanted shrimp with your shrimp cocktail, sir? Oh, well, you got to buy it. That's by the shrimp, sir. You didn't say
We
that.
paid the guy in the back to the shell off. We thought that's what you wanted. You get the shell.
Yeah, no, that's right. It's just an amazing story. But there's a great example of, that the technology, your nephew, he knows.
And how do
Your
you
nephew
get
said, right?
Yeah, and how do you get an internet out there? I don't even know how he did it. I don't know if it started.
Listen, we don't care. I mean, we don't know, but he did it. I got to tell you, hotspots, 5G. I mean, it's like a phone. It's internet. Your phone, boom. Yeah, that's awesome.
So they pulled it off, and it was only supposed to be 6 months. But, when you go to building and safety with plans, because the timeline is we're in this parking lot with the idea that the actual temporary location will go next to it, right on the water.
Right,
and that'll
sure.
be 1,800 seats, 4,000 square foot kitchen, and it could function for years while we rebuild where we originally were. That was the strategy. It's supposed to be 6 months, but we're coming up on 2 years. Because when you go to building and safety in LA and you say, yeah, we're building a temporary location for like 90 days? No, for 5 years. Back in line. Can't get through. There's no box to check. So it's like...
being here in New York, I suspect LA, based on what I hear and know, my brother lives there, I would say the bureaucracy and red tape in the buildings departments and licensing and permitting is very similar.
Yes.
It's a really long time.
Sure. And
very old-fashioned manual. Getting liquor licenses here is this. It's a drag.
And you mix in the Olympics coming, and now all the fires. All these homes that are moved out. You're getting behind all these people now because it's more
I would
important.
imagine.
But at the same time,
San Pedro Fish Market's probably behind all those homes that burnt down. I would mean, with respect to building permits. Sure, yeah. But you got a solution right now, so you're still rocking it out.
We're working it. Yeah, we're making it happen. We signed a lease to rebuild the original location. I signed a 49-year lease for that. So now we're on the hunt for money. We got to pay for it.
All right. Well, listen. You know what? That's what they don't call Jimmy the finance guy for nothing. I mean, we'll talk off the show, man. But I tell you, I mean, Jimmy's ears are. You say we're looking for money. Jimmy's ears are like. he's like. Yeah, he's percolating already. He's already thinking, when can we open one of these in New York and Vegas?
I like opportunities with stories. And Michael's got stories.
Yeah, no doubt. I like it. Yeah, this is awesome. Do we got to jump into a quick break?
Sure.
Is that Julie? You don't say anything to me, so I'm just assuming we got to take a quick break, and then we're going to be back. So let me just go into a little quick break. So we're going to be. So don't go anywhere because we'll be right back. Because then we're going to, by the way, we got Michael going to do a little hot or not.
Hot or not.
And we got the Brandon Quick Fire. And we're going to jump right back into it after this. We have a 2.5 hour break, Jimmy.
Really?
Well, I got to go to the bathroom.
Okay.
Be right back.
Bye.
Sit tight. We'll be right back, everybody. All right, and we are back, everybody. And we are very excited for a little hot or not. Are you ready? Michael, are you ready?
Yes.
All right, I'm going to ask you a couple questions. Don't think too quick. Don't think too hard. Don't think just first thing that comes to mind. Are you ready?
Ready.
Guinness Book of World's Record Food Challenges. Hot or not?
Hot.
Gold Belly delivery. Is that hot or not?
Hot.
Celebrity Chef Airline Meals. Is that hot or not, Mike?
Not.
Drone delivery. Is that hot or not?
Ooh, not.
Not. Okay, Jimbo, do you want to opine on this? The Guinness Book of World Record Food Challenges was hot.
I have
The Gold Belly or third.
Right. Well, I think that's where I got to go because my sense is, and Shadsy, that was a softball you just threw our friend Michael. Fair enough. He deserves it. He's doing the show with us.
Yeah.
Can you tell me about this Guinness Book of records in the world of food? And you got 4 of them. Tell me more, please.
We used to do the world's largest Maine lobster festival in the port of Los Angeles. And so we have the Guinness World Records around how many lobsters. We built our own cooker that could do 2,000 pounds of lobster an hour, live, fresh, served. And so we did one. I forget the actual records. I'd have to look them up now. But I think we had like 18,000. I don't know. We did like 30,000 pounds of lobster in a weekend. It was insane. So that they're all around cooked and served.
I know I can't get lobster when I go to a restaurant here. Mike got them all.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I'm sure. I went to a restaurant last week. I was sorry, no lobster. Now I know why there's no lobster.
Would you like some eggs? No, we don't have those either.
Exactly. Well, I think Jimmy had a great line, by the way. Somebody, we were joking around. We know everybody, you can't find eggs. It reminded me, like, during COVID, for some reason, everyone went and bought all the toilet paper.
Yes.
Like, they found out eggs were going up in price, and everyone there's no eggs left. Everyone just bought them. I'm like, what are you doing? You're hoarding eggs? I mean, how much eggs does one need? So there was a little chat going on. Everybody's like, I went to 4 stores. I couldn't find any eggs. Jimmy jumps in and goes, I don't understand. I went down to my supermarket. I found eggs. It was $40 a dozen, but I found eggs.
I said, it wasn't hard. I found eggs.
It was $40 a dozen. I found them. Yeah, I don't understand that. But anyway, keep on going. Let's go. World records.
Right. So tell me more about your Guinness World Records.
So we hit 4 of them. It was around how many lobsters we cooked, how many were served over 8 hours, and then how many were in a single display. It was thousands and thousands and thousands of pounds. So it was a lot of fun.
Love that.
Yeah. The first one.
That's
the first
important.
one
Well, how many you got? How many? You have 4.
We have 4 records.
The first one, they wouldn't let us use the word lobster, just seafood. So somebody.
Is that politically incorrect? I think. Yeah, that's not.
Somewhere in South America.
The lobsters have their own lobbying. They don't like being called lobsters.
Yeah, you're busting my shells. So they.
Don't call me a lobster.
Somebody in South America beat us with sardines. I'm like, come on. So we went back.
Sardines have those omega-3s, very healthy.
It was fine, but they were barbecue.
Again, that's
the
Sardine Association.
So we
it's
went
all
back
about the association.
We waited a few years and went back and said, you got to give us another chance. This is ridiculous. And so we'll do lobster. We'll do 3 in a day. And we set them all. And they sent an objectificator out to monitor you. And there's a whole thing. And it was fun. That's actually how we started doing the show, because somebody heard we were doing this and wanted to film it and created a sizzle reel called Fishmongers and shopped it all over Hollywood. And it was right at the time when another show that was really similar.
I think that's I pitched Fishy Business. I think they took it and went and shopped it all over. That was my idea. I have the whole treatment, and they're fishing the fishmongers all over Hollywood. I got to tell you something, man.
But nobody bought it.
It's not you. Someone was shopping fishmongers like we have an idea. And they just, okay. Anyway, that's good. So what do you get when you win a Guinness World Record? They give you something? Do you get a book? Do you get like the book? Because I used to keep that in the bathroom when I was young. I always had the Guinness Book of World Records.
So much more information.
They give you like a poster, but you have to buy the book. I don't think they gave us the book.
They don't just give it. Do they even still make the book? Do they have the book? I mean, that was a big deal. Every year you'd get the Guinness Book of World Records, and you'd see the guy with the really long fingernails.
Yep.
The tallest guy. It was a lot of fun. I remember, like, when I was young, it was a big deal getting the Guinness. Right. It was great fun,
That's right.
All right, but that's all. So, Jimmy, you want to opine on anything else, or you're good with the Guinness?
I want to go which came first.
So we're going right to which came first?
Yes, please.
All right, here we go. We're going right to which came first. Mike, are you ready for a little which came first?
Which came first?
All right, here we go. Which came first? The lobster roll or the fish taco? Jimmy, you do have the answers? You're playing.
No, I'm playing.
All right, what do you got?
Lobster roll.
Jimmy, care to opine?
I'm going fish tacos.
Fish taco. It's the lobster roll. Perry's Restaurant, Milford, Connecticut, 1929, Mike. The fish taco was 1950s in Baja, California, by the way. So lobster roll been around a long time. Milford, Connecticut. I never would have guessed that. I would have thought like Long Island somewhere, or Massachusetts, something like that. Anyway, all right. Which came first, Mike? Here we go. The first commercial fishing license, or the world's first aquarium? What came first?
Aquarium.
I'm agreeing with that. I'm going aquarium.
Oh, you're going with him on that one. Ding, ding. You are both right. The first aquarium is in 1853 in London. They love aquariums in London. They've always loved aquariums. But
first you had to have the aquarium to then bring in the regulators.
Yeah.
The regulators before they do it. Be like, you can't do that without paying us. Now we're going to regulate you.
You're a lot. Yeah. The first commercial fishing license was actually in California in 1872 at Vista Fish Market. It was the first the commercial license. Which came first? All right. Which came first? Here we go. Frosted Flakes or Cheerios? Ooh. Wasn't that like in the Jerry Seinfeld movie? Didn't they talk about that or no? That was the Frosted. But Frosted Flakes or Cheerios? What came first?
I think Cheerios.
I'm going Cheerios too.
Yeah.
It's Cheerios. Stick with the first. In 1941 was Cheerios.
Okay.
Frosted Flakes 52. Still very old. I got to tell you.
By the way, I have a box of 53. Still tastes fine.
Yeah.
Still, the good thing about Frosted Flakes, they never go stale.
Twinkies, comes with the Twinkie inside, right?
Yeah, never goes stale. I love
Milk
it.
right in there.
Yeah, I love it. All right, let's get into. We got to go right into the prices. The Price is Right. Are you ready? We're going right into the Price is Right. You know, I gotta tee up this music better. I'm not teeing up better. All right, here we go. The Spice is Right. Mike, are you ready? A little Spice is Right. This is the San Pedro Fish edition, or the King of Fish edition. Okay, and we have movie star, Oscar winner, Emmy winner, soon to be Tony. By the way, they're putting the King of Fish is coming to Broadway.
Coming to Broadway.
Coming to Broadway. The what is that? What is that? The Great. What are they called?
Great White Way.
The Great White Way. Yes. And Mike is actually starring in it. He sings also.
There you go.
It's going to be awesome. It's going to be a musical.
His name is Red Snapper.
Musical.
King of Fish, the musical. It's going to be great. I love it. All right, Spice is Right. Here we go, Mike. We went to the Golden Corral. You know the Golden Corral. It's all you can eat, right? We went to the Golden Corral, and we wanted to check what was the price of the all-you-can-eat dinner buffet, which Jimmy is a regular. He's 4 times a week. 4 times a week there. Yes, don't look at his feltness. He eats right over there, though. He only eats fish when he goes. Okay. But, Jimmy, do you care to guess first what the all-you-can-eat Golden Corral buffet is for an adult, excluding drinks?
$29.95.
$29.95. Wow. All right. Mike, you cannot go over because Price is Right rules are in effect. You can win both showcases if you come within like $1. I'll give you both showcases and fabulous prizes.
I'm going $14.99.
I got to tell you, ding, 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 we have a winner. It is $15.99. You win both showcases because you came within $1. Jimmy, I don't know, Jimmy, you were really just...
I'm off.
You're like thinking... last week, you were like...
Last week, I guessed on donuts.
He thought donuts were like $40 a dozen. Now, what kind of donuts
I thought $23, like less than $2 a donut. It was barely $1.
Where are you getting a Krispy Kreme? Where's he getting a $4 donut?
86 in Lexington.
That's the Upper East. That's the high rent.
There you go. That's what I'm messing up.
Yeah, I got to tell you. Well, listen, you'll stay on the line after the show, and our producer will hop on and we'll get the information because you have just won some fabulous, fabulous prizes that I think is going to make your head spin. You're really, really excited. So that's great. Golden Corral.
Golden Corral.
Very excited. Jimbo, we're going right back to you now on the trivia, which I think is going to be really challenging for me because I think so.
In that case, I think you already know what you're going to say. You're just saying it's challenging so that when you get it correct, when your guests are ready.
I think I know what I'm going.
All right, the 3 factoids about our friend Michael. Fact 1, Michael worked in a combo froyo video rental store, frozen yogurt video rental.
What kind of frozen yogurt? Do we have that there?
We don't have
that. Matters.
That matters.
What video store?
We don't have.
Was it like Vivid Video or was it like Champagne Video? Was it?
Just so happy. Video. Well, now you just basically that's a tell. Now,
that was a tell.
I thought you were using references that half our audience has no idea what you're talking about. They don't even know what video is.
Which half?
The not good one. The not good.
Mike knew exactly where I was going with
that. The not good half didn't know. Yeah. We knew. All right. Fact 2. Michael had a bright red Jeep with a hand-painted Marvel Venom painted on the back. Fact 3. Michael has a set of custom Japanese knives made by the famous Shatsy
Hatoro Hanzo. Of Kill Bill fame.
Of Kill Bill fame.
Mike just he's wearing black. He looks like a badass. His uncle was
definitely got the knives.
Definitely got the knives. I mean, it just the storied history. You want to just sit, smoke cigars, and drink some whiskey, and we got to do that, with Mike.
What? Wait, that's not a choice.
I'm saying
whiskey
and talk more.
Yes.
I don't think that combo frozen yogurt video. I don't think that. I think I don't.
Hand-painted Marvel Venom.
Yes,
and he's got the Kill Bill.
He was a badass guy. He was probably smoking Burrow Reds at 15.
All right, Michael. What says you on the factoids?
Okay, I'm sorry. Where are we?
He was doing Burrow Reds at 15. You're right, 100%.
Which one's true and which one's not?
Shatsy believes the lie is that you did not work in a frozen yogurt and video rental store.
No way.
I did indeed work in that store.
Really? When was that?
When my dad said, "Go do something else. Don't come back." He gave me
was that 11? Was that 11 or was that after you were 11?
No, I graduated high school. I take the summer off, and I go, "I'm not going to come back. I want to do something else." And I got a job there. was
And
fun.
what was
Pretty
was it a
movies.
brand frozen yogurt? It was just frozen yogurt
It was a
and
local
video.
guy in town that had his own little place. It was 88, 89. It was a long time ago.
No, listen, video stores were hot, man. I
So
love
there was
the frozen yogurt
Yes,
combo.
Frozen, get a yogurt, rent the video.
Well, I can't
All right,
remember
so
the names of it.
which was the lie then? The hand painted Venom, Marvel Venom, or the
I
knives?
hand painted that on the back of my red Jeep in college because I thought it was funny or it was cool. I was a Marvel.
It was cool.
nerd.
No, I think it's cool. I think it's cool.
It looked pretty good.
So you don't have any of these knives?
So I have knives made by a family friend who's Japanese, handmade, but his name is Rudy Miyake, and he's passed away since. And we have dozens and dozens of them, but they're not. Oh, they're lethal. They're pretty sharp. I don't use
But
them.
not Hattori Hanzo.
So that was So that's okay.
That's the fancy knives.
Yeah, I mean, some of these questions you're really getting granular. Like he does, but they're not knives.
different
You know,
Japanese
they're not Ginsu knives.
He's got the Japanese knives.
They
You
was
knew he
good.
had to have Japanese knives. There's no way the Kings of
No,
Fish
I'm
doesn't
telling
have
you what.
amazing knives.
Mike's got nunchucks and probably stars. He's got the stars.
star?
Yeah, he's got
Made
the
out of brass.
stars. Yeah. Yeah, I could tell. All right, listen, we got to jump into the branded quickfire because we are running low on time, and Mike's got to go and get some more lobsters or something, right?
Yeah.
So we're going branded quickfire. All right, here we go. I'm going to ask you 5 questions, okay? This is lightning round. This is no joke. This has to be lightning round. I've been getting yelled at by our producer that I'm taking too long, and Jimmy also has been yelling at me. And I got to tell you, you know what? They're making me feel sad, and they're shaming me, and I got to tell you, I'm feeling sad right now.
Once again, I think we have to change the name. It's not Quickfire. It's Shatsy Slow Fire.
All right, true or false? True or false? The first product Sony ever released was a rice cooker.
False. False. I don't know.
Jim, you want to jump in on
Let's
that?
go true because it's so random. There's no reason why it's here.
It was
unless
true.
it's true.
It was true. Sony was making rice cookers.
But I think Sony.
No,
Don't
no.
think Sony Music. Don't think Sony Film. Don't think headphones or the Walkman. I think rice cooker.
It was a rice
Now I'm
cooker, and
contributing
then
to
after they
slowness.
had the rice going, then they're like, aha, Walkman. That was the second thing they did and then the Trinitron.
Okay.
What was the last thing you Googled?
Who is Shatsburg Free?
Yeah. Why am I doing this horrible podcast?
Who is Brandon Hospitality?
You know what?
Who is Chatsy, and why am I doing this?
I was better do some homework this morning.
So you Googled, you're like, I'm looking at my calendar, my assistant has me, it says podcast.
I'm like, what is this?
the fuck is this?
Who are these guys?
Oh boy. And you're like, Miriam, can I get out of this thing here? No, it's been on the calendar. Okay, so you Googled us.
So
All right.
funny. I
Who's your?
actually did. Yeah.
You did. What'd you find out? You're like, holy, this is
Like,
not going to be
I better
good.
watch one of these on YouTube while I'm working out this morning.
Yeah,
It was a good one too.
this is an hour I'm never getting back. Listen, what on Spotify right now, wherever you're getting your music, who are you listening to right now? Number one artist. Who are you listening to?
Oh man, I'm all over the place on that. So I have to think.
You go, G on me.
You know, I have a Peloton, so I'm always liking the music. So it's such a
Yeah,
weird
me
mix.
too.
It's like an
And then,
actual
are you
Peloton,
saving it into your Spotify?
Yeah, so I'm like, I don't even know who these people are. I just like the music, but I have to think about that for a minute. Damn.
All right, well, we'll come back to it. You know, I'm liking Teddy Swims right now, and Jelly Roll. I'm liking both those guys right now. No good.
Yeah.
It's fine. It's your music. You do what you want.
Well, what are you listening to, Jimbo?
Oh,
What's your number?
my music.
Barry. By the way, Jimbo, don't. Yeah, Mike. Who do you think his favorite artist is? Just favorite artist for Jimmy.
Johnny Cash. I don't know.
No, I'm gonna give you. I'm gonna give you
I
a
do
hint.
love Johnny Cash.
Well, you may not be able to hear this because we're on Bluetooth.
My most listened to artist on Pandora, which is where I get my digital
Yeah.
music, it's Bob Seger. It's
yeah.
Billy Joel. It's AC/DC. It's Bruce Springsteen. The newest artist, Luke Combs. That's the newest artist.
Yeah, but Luke Holmes is
Combs.
very good.
Very good.
But we
But-
know Jimmy's favorite artist
Yes.
is.
When I'm getting mellow,
I don't know.
Shadzy's playing a little Barry Manilow.
Oh,
You
that's-
can't hear it 'cause
Here,
it's on his
okay,
phone.
got it.
Playing a little Barry.
Yeah, that's Jimmy's.
I chill the Barry.
You go to Jimmy's office, you know we got Barry going. All
All
right, listen. What's your all-time favorite sauce or condiment? All-time favorite.
You know, when it comes to French fries, I like Thousand Island dressing or some variation on it without the pickle. Like just
why
ketchup
not, man?
or ranch dressing. That's just my
ranch dressing and French fries is real good.
Yeah, the Thousand Island though it adds a different. It's addictive, and then I feel like crap after. Why did I eat all that Thousand Island dressing for? Oh, the French fries.
I love it.
The key is to add cheese whiz to that with the ranch. That's the key. That's what makes it healthy.
100%.
The cheese whiz knocks out the calories of the ranch.
Okay.
If you were to challenge, this is why it's not the quickfire. By the way, this is now we're understanding why it's not the quickfire. If you were to challenge Jimmy Rye to a game of Connect 4, which I love, one of my favorites, better odds of beating Connect 4, the big one at the bar, like the big one. You're taking the things.
Yeah,
big one.
But I like the big one. I like Connect 4.
Yeah, me too.
If I'm playing it, what was the question?
Who you have better odds of beating?
Who could you beat?
Basically, whoever you pick the better odds of beating is the loser between Shats and myself. You're winning no matter what. You're saying which one of us should have a better odds of beating.
Jimmy wins me, and I beat Shats.
There you go, beat Shats.
Oh, so we're doing a round robin?
Yeah, round robin.
So you and him, and then I got it.
He chose you. He's beating you. He has a better chance of beating you than me. He says I win, but then he beats you.
Yeah, I do. Sometimes I just do Connect 2, and then I move on.
Yes, it's that ADD.
I'm like, you move on. Two. I win.
I connected 2.
I connect 2, and I drop that. They all fall down the bottom there.
All right.
Yeah, I do Connect 2.
I was going to say, I have an 8-year-old daughter, and while you wouldn't believe this, we go to bars, we go to big sports bars where they have the large Jenga and they have the big Connect 4.
I love the big
We're
Jenga.
Playing. I'm playing Connect 4 the
I love
large
Jenga
right now.
And the cornhole.
Yes.
I love the big Jenga is. I love
Jenga is super fun.
Yeah.
Listen, Michael, we appreciate you being on the podcast with us, and really what you're doing both on the restaurant side and in the great state of California, and now on Amazon Prime with Kings of Fish.
Number one show on Amazon right now.
Again, I googled Michael before the show, and I have to say I was just super impressed by just the diversity of his business and just the hustle, the grit, and you're doing great things and representing our industry just so well. So thank you for that. If anyone wants to get in touch with Michael directly, you can email the podcast team at podcast@brandedstrategic.com, and we'd be happy to make the connection for you. And what I'm going to do now is pass it back to my boy Shatsy to close us out. But Michael, sincere appreciation, and I look forward to us all hanging out.
Yeah, when are you coming to New York, man?
My daughter lives in the West Village. I'm planning to visit her soon. I'll reach out to you guys.
There we go.
Oh my goodness! Then we will have a blast. We'll go for dinner at one of our restaurants. We'll
Let's be hospitable,
awesome.
And we'll hear some more stories. I can't.
You don't have to dine with us. You and your daughter can go.
No, I want to dine with
All right,
him.
then we'll hang. We'll stay.
Yeah, no, I want to dine. I want to hang out. He sounds like somebody I want to hang out with.
In Soho, when I visit, he's brought me on like a 14-hour food tour. I don't think it was any of your places, so we're gonna have to come back.
Yeah, one thing about New York, we got a lot of restaurants, man, but we got some good ones. I'm biased, but I think we got some really great ones. Listen, thanks for joining us. I want a couple of quick announcements here, a little housekeeping, if you will, Jimmy. If you haven't, by the way, you can listen to us, obviously, on all the platforms, but you can watch us on @Hospitality Hangout on YouTube, Jimmy. Nice. And you can see how goddamn good-looking we are.
How good looking our guests are.
Good looking we are.
Really?
You'd be like, wow, I didn't know Shatsy and Jim were goddamn attractive.
I think you're playing the game wrong again.
Oh, it is?
It's kind of like our birthday.
How ugly they are.
Yeah, I can't believe how then if they go on, I'm like, they're not so bad. It's like our age game. We lie about our age up higher. So when you see it's like, wow, for 64, you look
Jimmy,
great.
We're both married, so you know what I say?
It doesn't matter.
Somebody found us attractive.
At some point.
Somebody found us attractive for some godforsaken reason. I'm 25 years in, Jimbo. Listen, also, if you haven't, Michael, hospitalityheadline.com. Hospitality is our newsletter every Saturday morning, 6:03. It pops out. We're up to 100,000 subscribers. Love that. Wow. And by the way, if next week, I just want to tell everybody, we have an absolute fantastic guest coming next week. Ron Nicoli, the CMO, that's Chief Marketing Officer, Jimmy, of Resorts World in Las Vegas. Our first foray into Las Vegas casino guests.
Wow.
The first of many, because MGM is right behind it. Once they found out Resorts was coming on, MGM is like, absolutely no, I'm in there. So Ron Nicoli, CMO of Resorts, next week, don't miss it. It's going to be fun.
Good time.
And we're going to do some gambling on the show. So I think it's also really exciting. So stay tuned, everybody. Thanks, Mike.
Michael, thank you so much, man. Appreciate you. Cheers, everybody.